What interesting times. It's Tuesday for me today. I'm doing my third day at work at Publix, by the way, today. So I've been working at the Fresh Market for the last 2 days. That's the new supermarket I've been telling you about. And so today I'm back at Publix, which is nice. I'm looking forward to seeing my old colleagues again and the whole team and all. And it feels weird because most of the world is on lockdown. Like we in Florida, or particularly in Miami-Dade down here, we've been asked to stay at home if it's not absolutely essential that we're going out. And most of us are doing that. So there's usually way more traffic on the roads. It feels almost as if it's almost like a ghost town. I mean, not quite as dramatic as when Miami Beach was evacuated during the Hurricane Irma thing, which does remind me, I still have some videos that I've never made public. I should really do that. But it's literally a time thing, and currently we are just dealing with other things. So one of those things, I guess. They're there, so eventually I will go and probably put them public, but I just didn't get the chance to do it yet. But in light of this whole social distancing thing that everyone's been talking about, I've been thinking, how can we make sure we stay in touch more and more often? And I've decided that I'm doing more streams as a result. So currently, oh, look at that, there's basically no one on the roads. I can literally just cross this road without waiting for the traffic light to change. That is kind of crazy. I mean, this is a busy road, 5th Street, crazy. So I was thinking for us to stay more in touch, I can do streams in the morning before I go to work. They're sometimes not long, so we don't have to make them like 3 or 4 hours or so, but I do have an hour in the morning before I go to work, usually at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time, if you will. And that works really well because that means that gives me about an hour and a half, and then I have to go to work. But during that time, do check in and we'll do something exciting. I've picked a game which is very nice and chilled out. It's a non-3D game, so it gives us a proper break even from 3D graphics and such stuff. So it'll be Stardew Valley, and it's really nice. I just played it for the first time. And Christina dropped by. She has internet again, so that's very, very good news. And we're hoping that she's staying on some kind of connection. It's difficult with her whole medical situation there, but it looks like, you know, it's on the way. It's on the way up. So I appreciate things are going well. That's all we need to know right now. Are you serious? Have you stopped recording now? Yeah, haven't you? Have you? Oh, you're still recording? No, you're still recording. I couldn't quite tell if my camera had stopped recording or not. No, this is good, it's still recording. So what I'm saying is additional streams in the morning during the social distancing time. I might even, on my days off where I'm streaming at 5 p.m. in the afternoon for either 3D shenanigans or something else, I might even continue doing morning and afternoon streams so that we have, you know, just ample contact together. I'll start with the 10 o'clock streams on the days that I'm usually not streaming, so I can do something along the lines of 6 days a week. And it's literally so that we have a place to go to and come together and just, you know, not feel alone and be together, have a chat. Stardew Valley is not a game that we need to pay close attention to. It's kind of more chilled out, so we have ample time to talk, which is what I think is important. If it's a game like a shooter game, you often there's not enough time to talk because you have to constantly look at the game. And with Stardew Valley, it's not quite like that. We've inherited the farm of our grandfather, and we need to, you know, whip it back into shape, that sort of thing. And it's kind of a crafting, building game, 2D graphics, isometric graphics, very nice story behind the game. It's been single-handedly developed by one guy who studied computer science and wanted to get a job in the industry and thought, hey, before I apply for a job, he was an usher at a cinema, he said, I'm gonna go and create this game just so that I can bring both my artistic side together, and it'll be a nice exercise in programming stuff in C#. And he did so, and it became a success. He worked on it for 4 years. It's been published on all major platforms. It's exciting stuff. Rickety. There we go, that's it. So yes, that's my plan. And yes, other than that, Miami or the state of Florida is not under lockdown as I'm making this video. Changes are happening rather fast. So the marinas are now closed, parks are closed, non-essential businesses are closed. What's really hurting our local economy down here right now is the fact that hotels have been closed. That's kind of an unexpected turn of events. That literally happened over a course of 6 hours, from our mayor saying no, hotels can stay open, hotels and boarding houses, in the morning a few days ago, while in the afternoon he said, oh my god, we're going to have to close those down by Monday 11 p.m. at night. And that is no doubt connected to the fact that many of the flights out of here by American Airlines and other airlines have been cancelled. So it was difficult to ship the tourists out. So they had literally like a 3-day notice that the hotels could tell their guests, say, you guys need to check out by Monday evening, because at that point we have to be closed. So that's really weird. And hotels are big businesses down here, and that's crazy. When they're closed, I don't know how long they can remain open, if some of them are actually going to open their doors again. So that's going to be a major economical impact that's happening there. On the other side, my employer Instacart have been ramping up the numbers, and they're hiring a lot more people, because it looks like food delivery is booming more than ever, because people don't want to / can't / are not allowed to leave their apartments anymore. So that's kind of crazy. And well, the other thing is also goes to show, I was doing this shift at the fresh market, I think a couple of, like yesterday, day before actually, 2 days ago, and supermarkets and small shops, I mean, the nature of them is that there's a lot of people, so the social distancing 6 feet apart thing, it's not happening in supermarkets, right? I mean, quite clearly, you can try and implement it as much as you want, it's not going to happen. So there was this woman in front of me, like literally 6 feet in front of me, and I didn't pay attention to her at all. I mean, like, I don't pay attention to people around me. I mean, I'm aware of them, but I don't see their faces as such. So I do my thing, I'm looking at my list at my phone, and I'm trying to pick out the next item. She turns around, stops abruptly and says, no, you gotta give me my personal space. You did this before. Oh my god, you're encroaching on my personal space. No. And I was thinking, oh, okay. If you're that paranoid, first of all, I didn't even see you, lady. Second, if you're that paranoid, you should not leave the house, let alone go to the supermarket and immerse yourself in that. If this whole situation gets to you that much, you need to move into like a bubble or whatnot. That is just crazy. So I was a little hurt by that, of course, as you can imagine. But at the same time, I also acknowledge she did not mean that personally. And it just goes to show how much the situation is putting people under pressure. And I felt really sorry for her that she kind of lashed out that way. I wasn't the only one either. So there's a colleague of mine had a similar experience, and it was just, she's just freaking out. And that is, you know, I think if I have one tip for all of us, as dire as the situation is, this must not happen to us as a species. That is not something we can let happen, and we can minimize this by just keeping in contact and talking about it. And even if it feels silly to say I feel mega paranoid and I don't really know how to handle it, that's okay. I don't think any of us know how to handle it. Our government doesn't know how to handle it. The idea of just making sure people don't move anymore, well, yeah, sure, it's going to flatten the curve and all that, but I was shocked to see this. Steve posted that in Discord, that Bill Gates had this 5-year-old TED talk in which he warned that we are not ready for a viral epidemic. And my goodness, is he right? And yeah, okay, I'll get third-party conspiracy theorists aside, has he engineered it or not? That's not really my point. The point was that many science fiction novels are full of this sort of scenario that we're currently experiencing. And it's not a new idea, really. It's just the first time, I guess, that we're experiencing it this close and at this magnitude. I mean, every virus behaves like that. It's just that usually they don't kill people. So yes, hence we're not that aware of them and they just blow over. But yeah, I guess sad thing is that this isn't going to be the last epidemic of this proportion. This is probably the first that we're seeing at such close proximity, but I don't think it's going to be the last. And I don't think the prognosis of, hey, give it 2 weeks and everything is going to be fine, I don't think it's going to be quite like that. It has longer term impacts, I can imagine. A friend of mine who was working in the hotel industry, he had a pay cut of about 50%, which is kind of crazy idea, 50% pay cut. But for him it was actually better than for his 50 colleagues who all got made redundant overnight as a result. And that is kind of scary. And of course the company doesn't do that because they think, hey, I hate you all, I want to really stick it to you. That's not behind that. It's survival, plain and simple. And it is crazy. It's just many companies might not be in a position that they can do that. I mean, I'm kind of lucky in the fact that I still have a job. Julia gets to work from home. She's currently discussing, can she get away with working from home for good now until this is over? Or does she have to still go into stores? I go into stores 3 days a week, and I'm okay with it. I find it okay. I'm relaxed about it. But I know many people wouldn't be able to do this mentally, and I appreciate that as well. So I think that's really all I have to say. Let's stay together, let's stay in touch, let's make the most of the technology that we have. Don't feel trapped at home. There are other people out there that you can talk to. Thanks to things like Discord and Twitch and YouTube and Mixer and all these cool things, we can stay in touch, and it's almost like we're in the same room. We've been practicing it for over a year. It's going well. This is something I don't want to miss. And yes, hence I'm ramping up my game. I'm making more contact. I'm giving us all more opportunity to come together. 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the morning on days that I'm working, and the rest of the time 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the afternoon. Stay safe, my friends. Stay safe.